we like the idea that the project is complementary to existing water quality measurements. So there's a lot of measurement of New York water quality. And we're not trying to replace that or even improve that. We're offering a different kind of layer of information to that. So for one, instead of reporting back an exact scientific number about the dissolved oxygen level, we are kind of translating that data first into a kind of color. So it's a kind of qualitative aspect, and we like that there's some sense of wonder, like you said, in seeing it kind of changing colors in a cloud of light above the water. But second, we also like the idea that when we offer the information back through the text messaging interface, we're not going to give a hard number, we're going to give a comparison. So you'll be able to compare the water quality or the dissolved oxygen between the East River and the Bronx River. And so you'll just get back information about which one is better at the moment or has a higher level. And you'll also be able to compare what is it like now to last week. And so in a way we're doing some filtering. So there is kind of hard science behind our sensors, and we're interested in our sensors being as accurate as possible. But then we're interested in giving a kind of filtered layer, almost like a mapping of the information and translating that back. And then as we expand that out to the other types of sensors, we're interested in the types of interaction that become possible. So again, that deviates a little bit from just a standard hard science, like let's measure this thing and figure out how to take action on it. It goes a little bit from that to more of an open-ended experiment and a kind of playful interaction. So potentially, we like this about the project, people interacting with the system and wondering what's going on underwater, and kind of acting out of a sense of curiosity will cause some lights to blink. They'll get back some information about the river. But at the same time, because those lights are blinking, it might cause fish to come by, and lights blinking, we know, cause curiosity out of some fish. So there can be this kind of mutual interaction in a kind of playful way, using narrative but being somewhat unscripted. And we like that that's part of the project too. There are two ways that we would like to kind of gently push standard ways of dealing with the water in our urban environments. One of them is to say that typically there's a response to interventions in the water, to construction in the water, that's a do not disturb approach. It says the best thing we can do for the water right around our cities, right around Manhattan or even in the Bronx, is to do nothing. We should stay out, we should not create any new shade, we should not drive any new piles. And while some of that is a good rule of thumb, we want to explore whether there could be something that's even better than doing nothing, which would be to encourage curiosity, experimentation, and potentially finding a way to do better than doing nothing, to do something good, to make improvements. The second thing we're kind of challenging is this idea that the water around a city is just a mirrored surface to reflect back our own image, or to reflect back our skylines of our cities and the beautiful lights of our cities. And while we love as much as the next person the beautiful effect of the lights of the city reflecting off the water surface, and our project is in some ways a further exploration of that, because we have additional lights out in the water that are creating additional reflections. We definitely want to encourage people to think of the water surface not as being just a single plane that reflects, but being a kind of variable threshold between different kinds of ecosystems that are interrelated.